Overseas now, and these are heady days in Britain. London's currently in the grip of Jubilee fever, and then it'll plunge headlong into the Olympics. For the British Prime Minister, David Cameron, those events are welcome distractions from the pressing problems of the Eurozone and the crisis in Syria. On the condition that the ABC didn't ask any questions about those two issues, Prime Minister Cameron gave this exclusive interview to our Europe correspondent, Philip Williams.
Welcome to 7:30, Prime Minister. What are we celebrating here? What is the essence of the woman and what she stands for?
Well, we're celebrating 60 years of service by an absolutely remarkable woman. I think the British monarchy is a great institution. It's a symbol of national identity, of national pride. It helps to generate national unity because the royal family is above the politicians and the politics. But I think we're also recognising that this links back into Britain's history and past and institutions, but shows an institution that is actually as relevant and as brilliant today as it's ever been. So I think that's what we're celebrating, and it's a great national coming together. Not just here, but I think across the world and across the Commonwealth in particular, and the other places where the Queen is head of state, people will be celebrating too.
Of course, you're but a part of a passing parade. You're her 12th Prime Minister. You have regular meetings with her. What is it about her personality that strikes you? What surprised you about her?
Well, I suppose the thing that you do feel as the sort of 12th Prime Minister, she's heard it all before, she's seen it all before. The thing that strikes me, obviously her incredible experience. She's met almost every head of state. She's travelled to over 116 countries around the world. She's got an enormous amount of knowledge. But what's so great about her is just a huge amount of good British common sense. She sees through all the complexities and gets to the heart of the problem. I spend about an hour with her in my meetings every week. And I have to try and talk through the problems of the country and the world and the challenges we face. And you find as you do so, you've got a very sympathetic and understanding person listening to you, but someone with great experience and insights.
And a great sense of humour, we're told.
Yes, absolutely. There's a glint in her eye, and she's got a very good sense of humour. I think you probably need one with all of the public duties she has to do. And it's extraordinary if you think about it. 60 years of dedicated service. I don't think anyone can think of when she's ever put a foot wrong, but I'm sure that sense of humour and that glint in her eye and that little wry smile has carried her through some pretty extraordinary times.
And yet, of course, we have Republican movements here and in Australia. What would you say to those people that say it's an outdated, unwanted institution?
Well, I think the best institutions, if they modernise themselves and update themselves as the British monarchy has, can be as relevant today as they've ever been. And would you really want to? It's obviously a matter for every country to take its own decisions, but I ask myself, would I rather have some elected political president when you've got this institution that brings the country and the Commonwealth together, that's above politics, that symbolises nationhood and unity of the Commonwealth? Isn't that far better? With all the links back into history and greatness that it has, rather than some here today, gone tomorrow president. So that's why I think the British people are so united behind the monarchy in general, but behind this Queen in particular.
Now, of course, another big event, the Olympics coming up. Would you now, reflecting back on the economy as particularly, would you now taken that decision to have the Olympics, given that we're in tough times now and it's costing a lot of money?
Well, it is an expensive event and it's not something that comes around very often. But yes, I would. I mean, it was obviously a previous government that carried out the bid, but it had my full support. And it was a great moment of national celebration when we won that competition. And I think the Olympics is a great opportunity to show off the best of Britain. We've just been talking about our monarchy and our history and our institutions, but actually we also have an incredibly vibrant future. We've got some of the best universities in the world. We produce some of the best music, art, culture, film, television in the world. It's one of the best places to set up and start a business, where in between the time zones of New York on the one hand and Tokyo on the other, we've got the English language, something we share, the international language of commerce, access to Europe, the biggest single market anywhere in the world. You know, Britain is a great and vibrant country, and I want to show off the best at the Olympics. And the Olympics themselves have been well organised. Everything's been built on time, on budget, which I'm glad to report. And I think it's going to be a great festival of sport, but also a great festival for Britain as well.
Well, we wish you well with it. Not too well. We want to beat you in the medal tally, but we wish you well with that.
Well, we're always big competitors, and you know, we did really well in Beijing. It's going to be tough, and there are lots of there are quite a few sports where I think we'll be in direct competition, but looking forward to it.
Prime Minister, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.